Hello, everyone. I'm Allison Kinnear and with Voice of Our Own. And today we're doing some big things, and we're doing things a little differently. If you notice, I've got a cute little banner at the bottom. I'm trying something new. And so, we'll see. There might be a learning curve here. Anyway, welcome to Living and Learning. I'm on here every Wednesday at 3:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And today we are talking about school decisions. We are all being placed in a position where we are having to make some really difficult decisions. And perhaps the school district already made the decision for you and you know what you're going to do, or you might be in a place similar to me where there hasn't been a decision made as of yet. And it's just becoming a really painful process. Not only as a parent to be thinking about, what do I do for my child? What do I put them in school? Do I not? My employers are having to, maybe they were lenient in the beginning and now they're maybe tightening things up. Administrators and teachers have had to pivot incredibly quickly, learn new things, try brand new ways to help their classrooms stay intact. The amount of worry and stress and tears that I am certain have gone on behind the scenes from any person who is a teacher or an administrator is just incredibly mind-boggling. And for those teachers and administrators who are also parents, which we know so many of them are, it is just rife with a lot of risk and a whole lot of unknowns. And thank you, April. Thank you for your comment. Yes, trying to support parents with this topic. And so I'm not here to give you answers. I mean, I can share with you at the end what we are sitting with and what we are considering, but I want to rather talk about how to make a clear decision for your family and some of the things that maybe get in the way of doing that. And I will say the very first thing that gets in the way for us to make a really clear-headed decision. It may not be the decision we want. It's not the choice we want. By the way, there is going to be cursing on this. I feel like life is going, would you prefer a shit sandwich, a shit stew, or a shit salad? Like, we are not being faced with decisions that we are like really excited about. So, but those are our choices. And so what often can happen is that we can say, I don't want to deal with any of this shit, right? Like, we can be in that kind of denial place, that pushing back place, but the fact is the menu remains the same. And so part of the first step is really to understand that the choice to go back to 2019 and the way life used to be is not an option anymore. And if you have yet to experience the profound grief that comes with that, this decision around what to do with school may be the thing that gets you there. And that is not necessarily a bad thing. Embrace the suck, embrace the grief. That is, I think, one of the things that we can do is to get really curious about that grief, really curious about it, and give yourself the time to mourn, because the mad covers up the sad. So if you find yourself shooting off at teachers or shooting off at administrators or shooting off at your neighbors and really wanting to tear them down, chances are that's a lot of anger covering up the sadness, the mad covering up the sad that's underneath it. And so having a reckoning and getting curious about your grief and allowing yourself to mourn is going to be really important. The second thing that comes up after the grief kind of takes over, and maybe it's still there, kind of mixed and mingled in, is the fear, the what ifs. What if I send my kid to school and they get sick? What if I'm a teacher at school and I get sick? What if I lose my job because I cannot have a toddler interrupting me at work? What if all of the what ifs? I don't even need to add more. I don't need to add more fuel on top of the what if pile, because I'm certain that you have plenty of them floating around your head right now. The thing about the what ifs is that there's a trick here. Those what ifs are indications that we're in fear, that we're scared, that we're afraid, that fear is getting touched and stirred up. And so the trick is to be in the fear without going into the story of what if. I'm going to say that again. The trick is to be in the fear without getting carried away with the story of what if. Those what if questions, they can be helpful for planning, but really what's being asked is just to acknowledge the fear that exists. And if you can surrender to grief and fear and just be with it, the decision tends to come. But if you're fighting back from being like, oh, this is a first world problem, like look at my privilege, I can't even believe that I'm being sad about my kid not being able to go to school, or whatever the case may be, right? Or I don't want to feel fear, like I'm tired of fear, I'm tired of all of that, life's too short to feel like, I'm not saying dwell in it and be in it for the rest of your life. I'm saying allow the giant grief and fear wave that is coming at you to just crash, because that's what happens with emotions. I remember attending a conference where they said the average duration of a difficult emotion or of an emotion is 90 seconds. Like the peak of that wave crashing over is 90 seconds. Allow yourself 90 seconds of unadulterated, trying to control or trying to hold on or trying to hold back. Just allow that 90 seconds on average to crash over you. Because once that wave crashes and passes, that allows for clearer thinking to emerge. But if you're spending your time going down the what if rabbit holes, or spending your time trying to hold back your tears because of the serious mourning of how life used to be, then the harder it is to move forward and to move beyond without some of that anger or sadness or whatever else squirting out at the people around you, whether it's to your loved ones or to strangers on social media. Because the thing is that when we're afraid, anger is going to come out. When we're sad, anger is going to come out. And so if we don't deal with all of this, then we're going to be squirting that anger and frustration at the people around us. And then we have to clean up those messes. Like, let's only clean up one mess at a time. I don't want you having to clean up those messes when you're going through all of that. So that's what I offer you today. Like we are going to have a reckoning. And in all honesty, I don't think this is going to be our first reckoning of difficult decisions. Hate to be that person in the room, but I'm just going to put that out there. I think we're going to have more of this. And so this is an opportunity to practice how to be with our grief, how to be with our fear, and how to deal with it in a healthy way so that we're not unintentionally blasting or aggravating the relationships that we really need to be able to hold us together during this really difficult time. And just, if y'all are curious, my family, we haven't made a full decision yet, but when I look into my crystal ball of the future, what I see is more than likely schools are going to close again. My children, I just anticipate that happening. Somebody's going to get sick. And, we know now. There's still so much we don't know about this virus, but 6 months in, we know that when groups of people get together, somebody gets sick and then then things shut down again. And for my children, knowing them, knowing their personalities, knowing who they are, this is another part in making decisions. You got to know your children and you have to know your family. My children, the social relationships are like the world to them. And this herky-jerky start and stop is super painful for them. And look, I'm getting teary even thinking about this. So we're leaning towards the decision of keeping them home so that they don't go through that herky-jerkiness. And I have incredible privilege because I work from home. That's a privilege that I have. How am I gonna homeschool our children while working from home? No idea. We will cross that bridge when we get there. And I'm looking at the unschooling model, which is where everything is really based on the children's interests and supporting learning through that. I have a lot of experience doing that. And so doing it for older children is kind of where I'm leaning. But again, nothing's decided. And we don't know. We didn't know this was coming 6 months ago. We don't know where things are going to come, 3 months from now either. So, but we're just trying to make the best guesses for ourselves and for our families, because it's got to fit not only our children, but it has to fit the way it works for our family. And I have no idea how I'm going to work and do the work that I do and teach the kids. But, I trust that I'll figure it out, because if there's one thing that we as humans are really good at is figuring things out. And I know the more I feel the feelings that come up, the better I'll be at being able to figure things out. And I believe that for me, and I believe that for you. And thank you, Emma. Yeah, thank you for the big love. It's a tricky time. I know I'm talking about this in kind of a, more flippant way. But there's a lot of emotion and a lot of tears that go into this work. And we do ourselves a disfavor, or we what is the term? It's like we don't help ourselves by not feeling the feelings. I spent many, 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 many years of my life trying not to feel the feelings. And life is so much better if you can just feel them. And we are being asked to feel them. So I leave you with that. I wish you all clarity and trusting in your emotions, not in the stories they tell you, but trusting that feeling the emotions is, it's not going to end your life. And to that extent, one thing I say to parents all the time, if there's anyone in your world who understands what it feels like to be consumed and taken over by big emotions, it's your children. They experience it every day. They experience it when they get mac and cheese and not, a sandwich. They experience it all the time. They know what it's like to experience big emotions. So you experience your big emotions. That's all it is. And just like with your children, the time will pass. The moment will pass. Oh, April, you're welcome to help feeling the feelings. And Lindsay, thinking of going unschooling route as well. All right, we can talk. Juggling work and taking on the teacher role. Oh, yes, it's exactly. We'll figure it out. We are not necessarily all in this together, but we are all getting impacted by this in our own unique and specific ways. And the one silver lining I find in all of this is there's no longer a right way to do things. Like, we all need to really suspend our judgment. You know what I mean? Because there is no longer a right way to do things. There is no right way to send your kids to school. There's no right way to homeschool. There's no right way to unschool. There's no right way to do anything. We are all just doing the best we can with what we've got. And so if you are finding yourself judging other people about that, take a look at yourself, because there's something in there that's not exactly being, there might be a judgment that you're holding on yourself, which is making this such a trigger for you, for others. So the silver lining is there's no one right way. So you do you. All right. I wish you a full week of living and learning and making these tough decisions. If you need support, remember, I always offer a free consultation to anyone who needs it. Please let me know if you need that support. Let me see. Oh, look at this. I got my banner. So if you would like any support from me, voiceofourown.com, you can go to the Work With Me page, and that's where the complimentary consultation is. Thank you all for being here. And yes, thank you, Richard. Yes, give yourself some grace in these uncharted waters. Absolutely. Great way to end it, Lindsay. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Take care.